Hey, so welcome everybody. So as you know, Maximo, which is now Manage, one of the components in the application suite, is a collection of many different applications. Now you as a user perhaps have never seen the very long list of modules and applications that make up Maximo, which is now called Manage. So what we're going to do in this series is we're going to walk through each of the modules in the context of different areas of management, such as asset management, work management, purchasing, things like that. And so each part that we're going to do here will cover one of those areas. And we're going to look at all the modules and then the applications in each of the modules that are related to those. So, going to be rather lengthy videos. I'll put a lot of bookmarks in there so you can keep track of where you're at. And let's get started. So let's begin with some organization here. So during the series, we're going to cover all of the blue squares, certainly starting with asset management and work management. And then we'll work our way into inventory and purchasing, and then we'll wrap it up with analysis module and the administration module. This particular part will be focused on the inventory management square. So let's get going on that. The very first app we're going to talk about is Storerooms, right in the middle. This is where you define where the items that you wish to maintain inventory with are actually stored. Now, there can be many different storerooms located across the enterprise, and you're also able to set up parent-child storerooms as well as reorder storerooms. There's a lot of functionality here just within the storeroom application. But in general, this is where you identify where all of your items are going to be stored. Let's talk about the Item Master application. This is a significant application within Manage. This is where you identify the details of the different items that you are maintaining in inventory. So their number, their description, the storerooms that they are to be located in, the vendors that you are receiving the items from, any specifications or classifications, and you're also able to build what they call assembly structures as well. Items have statuses. You can see that they have pictures. This is where you identify whether an item is a rotating item or not. From the Item Master, you're also able to move items around between storerooms, not their inventory levels necessarily, but their definitions. Also, too, within Maximo, you're able to maintain multiple item sets. So if you have different organizations that are within Maximo, they are able to define their own lists of Item Master items. The next three applications we're going to talk about all at once: service items, tools, and stocked tools. If you wish to maintain inventory on services that your company subscribes to, then you're able to use the Service Items app to manage those services. Tools and stocked tools, if you have a need to manage the tools that are being used by people in the field in a more detailed way than just assets, then making use of the tools and stocked tools applications would be of benefit to you. If your inventory is a mixture of new, used, or perhaps even rebuilt items, you're able to identify condition codes within the Condition Codes application so that you're able to make a distinction between what is a new item and what is a used or rebuilt item. If all of your items are new and you have no rebuilts or used in inventory, then you would have no need to establish condition codes. All right, so now that you've got everything set up using all those other applications, we can finally get to the busiest application in the inventory module. As you can imagine, that is the inventory application. So this is where you have a complete view of all of the items, the inventory levels that you have and where, as well as your balances and the demands, such as reservations, that are being made for the items by way of work orders and other records. This is also where you establish your reorder details and whether or not the items are related to an asset record as well. From this application, you can also issue items, you can transfer items. This is also where you would build kits, assemble them or disassemble them, and a host of other functions related to inventory. Again, this application is the central processing app within inventory. These next two applications, issues and transfers, as well as the inventory usage app, are applications you can use to perform inventory transactions. Whether you are issuing an item, transferring an item, and specifically in the inventory usage app is where you are able to create records for a variety of inventory transactions. Which one of these applications you use is completely your choice. Alrighty, hang in there, we're getting down to the end. So the shipment receiving application is not the same thing as the receiving application. Shipment receiving is used for just that, receiving internal shipments that you may be making from one site to the other or one storeroom to another. We'll talk about the receiving application here in just a moment, as well as in the purchasing module video, which will be coming after this one. The Count Books application is a relatively new application to manage. This is where you can design how you wish to count the different storerooms that you have across your enterprise. You can count the entire storeroom at once. You can break it up by bins or shelves or some other type of parameters. However you set up your count books, your inventory team members are now able to go out into the warehouse, look up the count books that have been assigned to them, and perform a physical inventory. So finally, we made it to the role-based applications. For inventory, there are three. Inventory counting is for using those count books that we just talked about to go out and perform physical counts of the different storerooms that you have in your enterprise. Inventory receiving is for receiving new items, and issues and transfers is just that. It is for issuing and transferring items from one storeroom to another or out to work orders. All of these applications can either be launched from this menu to a browser tab or be operated from a mobile device. And that's it. Hopefully that was a good survey of the inventory module, and looking forward to the purchasing module, which is the next one. Thank you.